This is what we just did on how to find a side. This will be on how to find a missing angle. Okay, so we know that this is 90, but that's not enough to be able to solve for one of the other two. Okay, so we need to figure out what this angle is right here. Okay, so if this is 10 and this is 4, that means this angle right here is always going to be a certain degree measure, and we use trigonometry to figure out what it is. So let's go ahead and solve for angle B first. Okay, so I'm looking at this triangle from angle B. I don't know what it is, but that's just fine. So from angle B, what is 4? Is it the opposite? Is it the hypotenuse? Is it the adjacent? It's the adjacent, and just like we did in the last video, we write that down. What's 10? 10 is the hypotenuse. So which one of our three trigonometric functions involves the adjacent and the hypotenuse? That would be cosine, ca. So here's what you do. You do the cosine of angle B is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Okay? This time the angle is missing. Last time a side was missing. So here's all you need to do. This is actually easier, guys. If you want your calculator to do this and to solve for B, what you do is you do the inverse of sine. So you go, and I'll show you how to do this on the calculator. You go second cosine 4 over 10. So what your calculator is doing is it's saying, if the adjacent over the hypotenuse is 4 over 10, what's the angle? So I would get my calculator out, and I'll show you how this works too. So when I get my calculator out, I go, where is it on this calculator? It is, yes, there it is. Okay, so we're doing second cosine. So, where's that? I don't want that. What? Go away. What? How did that? Okay. All right, second cosine. So I'm going to go cosine, and then I hit the -1. For you guys on your calculator, I don't know why it spaced it like that. That's really weird. Okay. And then parentheses 4 over 10. There we go. Tells me that this is 66 degrees, or 66.42 degrees. So most of you in your calculator, you're going to hit the second button. You would hit second cosine, and then go parentheses 4 over 10, and end your parentheses and hit equals, and it'll give you that. Now we could real quick solve for A here by subtracting from 180, but I just want to prove to you that trigonometry works. So let's go ahead and use trigonometry. I'll use red for angle A. So angle A, okay. So what is 4 from angle A? What's 10 from angle A? Which one of the three involves the opposite and the hypotenuse? That would be, so, sine. So I'd go the sine of angle A equals 4 over 10. So in my calculator, I go second sine, just like here, okay? Go second sine. Maybe I need to hit this first. No. Okay, second sine. Four over 10. And I get 23.5. That would round up to 23.58. And it works because that plus 90 is 180. And that's how you find the angles for the first part. You just have to draw pictures for these, okay? And then just solve it like we did before. So just picture each one of these, okay? Francis is a pilot of an airplane that is flying at an altitude of 3,000 feet. When the plane begins its descent towards the ground, if the angle of descent of the plane is 15 degrees, how much farther will the plane fly before it's on the ground? Okay, so he's up here at 3,000 feet. Each one of these is going to make a triangle, okay? He's 3,000 feet up. Now he's coming down like this. Okay, he's coming down, 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 and it's making a triangle. Okay, so this was his path. So he's cruising along like that. Now, the most common mistake here would be to think that this is 15 degrees. So an angle of descent is actually something different. Angle of descent is he's going at a 15 degrees down. So what would that make the angle of our, what would it make that angle? Well, the whole thing is 90 degrees with that straight line. So what's 90 take away 15? It would be 75. If I can get my iPad to work. Now that's what we got to use. So what do we want to know? We want to know how long till he hits the ground. That would be how long until he hits the ground. So maybe pause the video and try this one on your own. So I'm going to use the 75-degree angle. And I start thinking, what is 3,000 from the 75-degree angle? It is adjacent. What's x? It's the hypotenuse. So I'm going to go, which one is adjacent hypotenuse? It's ca. So I'm going to go cosine of 75 is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then I'm going to cross multiply. 1 times 3,000. And that's equal to cosine 75 times x. And then all I have to do is divide both sides by cosine 75. And x is equal to 3,000 divided by cosine 75. So 3,000 divided by cosine 75. And I get 11,591 as an answer. So 11,591 feet. Okay, so each one of these you're going to have to draw a triangle. All right, that one was tough because this 15 degrees throws most people off. Hopefully that helps with the angles.